Russia is a captivating land adorned with countless wonders and enigmas. It boasts a population exceeding 146 million people, representing over 200 distinct ethnicities. Throughout its storied history, Russia has garnered renown for its cultural opulence and bountiful landscapes. The vastness of the Russian spirit is renowned worldwide. Regrettably, our contemporary era is plagued by numerous misconceptions surrounding Russia, which I am eager to dispel. It's always cold in Russia. For countless foreigners, Russia epitomizes an eternal winterland where even the summers are icy. The discovery that frost-resistant palm trees flourish in the Far East and temperatures can soar up to 40 degrees Celsius during summer leaves them astounded. Even in the traditionally cold regions of Siberia, scorching hot summers exist, all thanks to the distinctly continental climate. Personally, I've often enlightened my foreign friends about the ruggedness of our weather. Given that Russia spans thousands of kilometers from Vladivostok to Kaliningrad, it's ludicrous to anticipate uniform cold or warmth across the entire expanse. So, if you plan to visit Russia in the summer, remember to pack sunscreen, dark sunglasses, and treat yourself to a refreshing beverage. A beer, for example. Thus, the myth of perpetually cold Russia rightfully claims the 5th position. Russians don't like foreigners. A common misconception among newcomers is the belief that Russians harbor animosity towards foreigners, but this couldn't be further from the truth. Russians do not possess inherent dislike for individuals from other lands. Cultural disparities may mislead tourists, as Russians are not accustomed to smiling at every stranger they encounter, which might give the impression of aloofness. In reality, our country is a melting pot of diverse nationalities and cultures coexisting harmoniously, from Caucasians and Buryats to reagents, garbage golems, and reptiloids. A multitude of identities thrive within our borders. Thus firmly claims the 4th spot. Myth number 3. The capital of Russia is Moscow. Ignorant foreigners assume that Russia is a sovereign country with independent interests. However, little do they know that our country is entangled in a complex web of international conspiracies. Unbeknownst to many, Russia has long fallen under the dominion of Masonic lizards who arrived on colossal intergalactic beasts from the distant planet of Nibiru in the Sirius constellation. Presently, Russia functions as a mere outpost of the British Empire, akin to Canada, Australia, Malaysia, and even Singapore. Our purpose as a peripheral state revolves around the exportation of natural and biological resources, ensuring the sustenance of London's metropolis. Hence, the true capital of Russia is none other than London. This fact is known to many, and that's why it secures only the 3rd spot on our list of myths. The native language of Russians is Russian. Regrettably, there exists a widespread misconception regarding the native language of the Russian people, with many assuming it to be Russian. However, I must boldly declare that this notion is a bright lie. Fabrication orchestrated by dragons during the mystical era of Babylonian catharsis of Mercury retrograde. The true Russes, referring to the extraterrestrial beings who descended upon us, did not communicate in the language concocted by the reptiloid Rosenthal, but rather in the sacred tongue known as Bukvitsa. Bukvitsa represents the Slavic alphabet, a pristine conduit for conveying the profound essence of universal processes. It serves as a distinct programming language for our universe, authored by the Rod and employed by him as a tool for shaping and organizing the world. Alas, the two enigmatic figures, Kirill and Methodius, subverted the genial language of the Russes with their own invention. Unveiling the concealed symbolism, one discovers that if we reverse Kirill's name, it spells lyric, meaning a fabulist and a liar, while Methodius derives from the ancient Hebrew word meth, connoting poison. I beseech the true Russes to rekindle their connection with their own mother tongue. Bukvitsa claims the well-deserved second place in my rating. Russia for the Russians. When delving into the annals of ancient Russes, it becomes evident that everything you have come to know is an absolute fallacy. The so-called official history merely serves as veneer to veil the truth from our eyes. We find ourselves ensnared in the clutches of lizard overlords who wield control over our world, ensnaring us in the illusion of freedom. In reality, our forefathers journeyed to us through the celestial expanse of the Great Bear constellation, from the Yarila Sun system, aboard a majestic spacecraft known as the Waitmar. Its illustrious crew comprised representatives from the four esteemed clans: Da-Aryans, Ha-Aryans, Razan, and Svaitorus. Vedic research unveils a riveting tale of the harrowing persecution inflicted upon the Aryans by the reptiloids. Embarking from the distant Sirius constellation, a formidable armada of lizards embarked on a treacherous pursuit, intent on enslaving our ancestors and transforming them into captives to fuel their crystalline pursuits. The lizard army boasted superior might, forcing the Waitmar to take flight towards the resolute expanse of the Great Bear constellation. Amidst the relentless chase, the mighty Perun unleashed cosmic lightnings upon the lizard vessels, yet one of the malevolent laser cannons struck the Waitmar's engine compartment. The crippled Waitmar, destined to plummet towards the Earth's surface, found salvation through the providence of Veles parachutes, allowing a significant number of asses to safely alight upon the soil that would come to be known as Ukraine. Hindered by the malfunctioning equipment, our ancestors were unable to establish communication with the Central Space Station. Thus, the Aryans took root upon these lands and christened it in honor of the four surviving peoples, Rus. Consequently, it becomes undeniably apparent that Russia stands at the hallowed homestead of the indigenous Aryans, cementing its rightful claim as the foremost myth in the top 5 myths about Russia. If you hunger for more riveting rankings, be sure to demonstrate your support by liking, subscribing to the channel and leaving comments. Goida, everyone!